Hello, my name is Ralph Pritchard. I'm a licensed realtor in the province of New Brunswick, and I'm happy to be here today to give a testimonial about this new sign frame. This sign frame by Innovia is very easy to use, comes in a small case, and is made out of engineered stainless steel rod that forms the frame. The sign itself is printed on vinyl, which is thermally melted along the sides, welded on the sides, to give you a tough, durable, lasting sign. What I want to do is I want to show you the basic components of it and show you why this is the last real estate sign you'll ever need. Believe it or not, all the components of this sign and everything you need fit within this bag. It's about 42 inches long, about 6 inches wide, and about 2 inches narrow. It's an ordinary tripod bag, and you can get it at any camera supply company, or Office Depot in the States sell these for about $10 or $12. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the different components, starting with the actual frame material itself. There are 5 different pieces of the stainless steel half-inch rod that is engineered every time by robots, so you're going to get the exact same pieces every time. It starts off with the header piece, which forms this component here. And then there's a leg assembly that comes in 2 parts. The initial part is screwed into the top, such as that. The next part fits into the bottom like that, connects with the pin, and then you do the same for the other leg. At that point, we drill a hole in the ground, and that's it. So I'm going to show you step by step how to put that together. The other thing you'll want is, of course, the sign. And like I said, it's a heavy-duty vinyl mesh that is thermally welded along the edges, and what it does is it forms a pillowcase, as you can see. Once the frame is in the ground, you simply slide the pillowcase over top and down. We'll talk about adding sign headers later. So for now, let's assemble the frame in real time so you get an idea of just how much time it takes. It takes me about 10 minutes or less to do it. The last component that I've made myself, this is just a 2x3 available from your hardware store. It's cut a little bit longer than the frame itself. The reason for that is so that I could drill template holes. So I simply measure the hole from one end to the other, because I'm going to use this on the ground to put the holes into the ground. Starting the camera now, start your watches, and we'll assemble the legs. As I said, we simply take the 2 together, we line up the holes, we put this little pin in, just by finger, and then once it's in, we'll take this set of adjustable pliers and just press it into place. I normally do this out of the back of my truck, makes it a lot easier, but I just want to show you how versatile it is. Once that's assembled, you take a tie wrap, and you'll notice there is a little groove in the top, so you can take your tie wrap, wrap it around, and this is so that the pin doesn't fall out while you're putting it in the ground, or if you have to do any last minute moves to it. And once that's in there, that's not going to come apart. So I'll do the same to the next leg. Again, you just line up the 2 holes, start the pin, use your pliers, just give it a little squeeze, it pops right in. Reach into your pocket, grab a tie wrap, and pull it tight. You can cut off the surplus with a little side pliers. Now that the legs are together, I'm going to take and screw them into the top piece. Again, these are all machined. And hardly weighs anything. The thing I really like about it is it takes up so little space in the car once it's in that tripod case. And we'll do one for the other side. Now the ends of these rods are pointed, so you could actually bang them in, but we use a drill because we don't always have the opportunity to knock them into nice fresh earth. Half of our season the ground is frozen, so we need something that'll go into the ground. And then what you do is you just use this little handle on the end and give it a little bit of a twist so that it tightens up in the header. That way it won't move. And you do that for both sides. That's essentially the frame. Now it looks kind of wobbly, but once it gets in the ground and once the vinyl pillowcase goes over it, it firms it right up, as you can see. This has been tested to over 100 kilometers an hour or 60 miles per hour, so it's quite durable. The thing I like about it is that this can handle a snow load, and even if the snowplow does wing one side, you can buy the extra components for it to replace it. You don't have to write off the whole system. And in most cases, these vinyl pillowcases, if you will outlast any coroplast that I've been using. In some cases where it's extremely windy, I found that this will outperform 3, maybe 4 coroplast signs. Now, I don't know about you in your area, but it cost me $30 a piece for the coroplast, so 4 signs times 30, that's $120. This vinyl by itself is only $45, so it pays for itself in one storm. The frame is also about $45 at the current time of this video. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to drill the holes in the ground. I've purchased a 1/2 inch thick by 13 inch long masonry drill bit. In other words, it's designed to go through concrete. So it'll have no trouble going through stone or frozen ground, and that's the importance of getting this versus a wood drill. So you take this and put it in your drill, and this is just hand tightening. And then what we do is we use the template, and I'll just move the camera so that you can have a look at it. So with your drill bit in, and you've found a perfect spot to put it, you're going to lay your template, your 2x3 template, on the ground and stabilize it with your foot, and then just simply go through each hole . There's one. And there's 2. This one had some stones to go through. Now that the holes are drilled in, I take the assembled frame, line them up, and drop them in the holes. When you're putting it in loose stone like this or loose gravel, you'll find that some of the stones will end up rolling back in the hole. So you just use a little hammer and give them a little tap down. At this point, it's time to put the vinyl sign over top of the frame. So we'll turn the camera up. There we go. We'll open the one side up, start it over the edge. And once it's started, we'll snug down both sides. Obviously they need to go down evenly. There. Now it's assembled. And as I said, this sign will withstand wind up to 60 kilometers or 60 miles an hour or 100 kilometers per hour. So now, what about the sign topper? Well, as you can see, this one here has a sign called waterfront, but we'd like for sale or an arrow pointing in the direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove that and show you the components. This is your normal coroplast topper. It cost us about $5 to have them made up. Our local printer will do those within a day. So on the back, what I'm loosening off is a wing nut. So for this part, there's really no tools that are necessary to assemble it. And I'm taking this apart just so that you can see the individual components. I buy the stainless steel bolts from Home Hardware. They're 3/16 of an inch, and they're about 1.25 inches long. So as you can see, there's a stainless steel washer on top that fits over top of there. There's another stainless steel washer that once you put it through the sign and the coroplast, and then a wing nut to tighten it up. And that's the beauty of it. Now, if it's your first time putting a sign from the printer on, you'll need to drill these 2 holes. But that's quite simple. You simply put a 3/16 drill bit into your drill, hold this evenly behind, and then using the 2 holes that are in here as a template, you just pop 2 drill holes in it. Very simple because it's only plastic, as you know. So what I'll do is, with the nut and washer and bolt, we'll start one off, and then we'll put the other one in. And then I'm putting a washer on the back. And this will work with double high signs as well. I've got one that I have that's about this high. It's another 6 inches high. And it works quite well. Even with the wind catching it, it doesn't really affect it that much. There's your wing nut. Put it on the back. And then you just give it a quick spin. The wing nuts as they are, they work quite nicely. And put the other one on. And there we go. The sign's all ready to go. So that's basically it. Very simple. Just a little summary. You take the components out of the bag, which takes up hardly any room in your truck or van or wagon or car. You assemble the legs first, put the pin in and put a tie wrap on it. You can clip the tie wrap off with some cut-off pliers, just for show, or you can leave them there, doesn't matter. You're going to have to cut them off anyway when you disassemble it. You take the template, put it on the ground where it's level, where you want it. Use the holes that you've pre-drilled in there, and you only have to make one of these. This will stay in your toolkit, so it's not like you have to make one of these for every job. You're going to use your drill with your 13-inch, half-inch concrete drill to go through rocks, frozen ground, or concrete. Drill the 2 holes in, move this out of the way, go a little bit deeper. You can get a longer one of these if you want to do that. Set your sign frame in, put your pillow on, and that's it. Except if you want to add another sign like a waterfront or an arrow. And that's it. Like I say, we're really extremely happy with these. Nora, my partner, can manage these. She's got her own little drill in the back. They don't weigh anything. Just put a little weight on it, goes right through. I thought I'd take this time to quickly show you how easy it is to take apart. You just hold the legs down with your foot, lift the pillow up. I use that wooden template that I was talking to you about to roll this up in. That way it keeps it nice and flat with no wrinkles. Put it in your bag. You've got your drill bit, your pliers, and your cut-off pliers already in the bag. you're going to cut off the tie wraps. 1, 2. Stick them in your pocket, don't leave them on the ground. Excellent. The pins pop right out. Take these out separately from the legs. And then it's just a matter of unscrewing these. Probably a little easier if you take the legs out when you do it, because you'll be able to use this little handle there to help unscrew it. So it's a little extra snug, but I'm able to do it. Take the last one out of the ground. Take the 5 pieces. Put them in your bag. Be a little careful. The vinyl is very durable, but you don't want to take a chance and cut it. Put your pliers in there with it. That way you know where your tools are at all times. The only thing extra that you'll need that doesn't actually fit in the bag is your little hammer and your screw gun. That's it. It took me, what, 3 minutes to disassemble it? Under 10 minutes to assemble it? Not bad.